That particular morning, I don't know if the fire alarms were working or the smoke detectors were working, but that is not what woke me. I woke to like a strange noise that I actually thought my husband was in the kitchen looking for something in a hurry. And when I woke up, I realized our bedroom, the door was shut, but it still was smoke filled. So first gut reaction is to open up the door and nothing but black smoke. And so it was just about getting out. At that time it was survival, to get out and to get Bear out. And thank God we were in the same room, so we went out one of the windows, and we were just thinking what an enormous task we have right now. And to replace everything that belonged to us, it just, and they said, you know what, call Red Cross. And right in that moment, they didn't know how or what services, but it was a friend that told me. And so the next morning I called, and I was saying the thing that I wanted to say is the face of who Red Cross helps. A lot of times you'll think it's people who are totally destitute, but in our moment is when they were there, and I really appreciate that. And so they did. They gave us a voucher just to stay at a hotel for a couple of nights, and a very quick, because when a fire comes, you lose everything, your food. You know, even if you're going to get some of the clothes restored, that is a process because of the smoke damage. So we had what was on our backs, and so they no food. They gave us a voucher for food, and just that quick helped enable us to go until we could get to more help. It gave us the ability to go, okay, we have a roof, we have food, and now we can think and begin to utilize our own resources. And that was it. That the other thing that they did that was a real blessing was that they told us of other things, other places, the other organizations, I'm sorry, that might be of help, as we're displaced now for probably up to 6 months. And so those little things were things that we didn't have readily knowledge of, and it was just helpful. And I think what happens in a fire is that you're not thinking. That's the last thing on your to-do list. And so to have someone come in and kind of structure and tell you where to go and what you can do is a huge, huge help. And that's what they were. But you know, the small things that happen in a community, a family loses is a victim to fire and lose things, and you kind of look at it, and then you know, you kind of give it a kind thought, and then you go on with what you have to do, and it probably doesn't cross your mind anymore. But if it's happening to you, it is just about one of the most devastating things, and you begin to realize it has changed my whole world. Whether it you know, goes out and we didn't make the news, our fire didn't make the news, it was not of it as of an importance to the world, but it changed our world. It is changing our world, and we are upside down and trying to make things fit. So a devastation can happen, and it may not be to the magnitude that it affects the world, but to your world, it has totally changed it. And I think that is the compassion of Red Cross, to come in and go, no, this isn't a national disaster, but it's yours. And how can we help at all for you in your moment? And that's what I felt. It was like, what can we do for you in this moment? The other thing that for me, going through this, and I know in the end I'll be all right. I mean, thank God we will be okay. When we needed help, they were there. But for me, and I told my husband and the workers that when we do come through this, I think it is absolutely our charge now to do the same for someone else. Because there is no greater compassion than when you have gone through something and you know that family, and they might be okay in a few months. Things might pan out and insurances might come to surface and friends and family might come and rally and your church help. But in that moment, it's very few people who have the resources to come right away and be of help. And I think that is the thing that strikes is I now feel like I would love, when we are restored, to be able to be a first face to some family that needs something, to be able to say, first, you're going to be okay and you're going to get through this and things are going to work out. But today, I know you're feeling overwhelmed, and just to be there, I think that meant more when the guy who came, who was very compassionate, and I think his words ministered maybe more than the voucher for food, because it was a very emotional moment for us, and those words meant so much to us. Not that the help was not needed and wanted and appreciated, but I just thought that is absolutely something I now know I would want to do for someone else.